Hey everyone, what's up? Just a few quick updates here and there, but then we'll get to the main part of this video. First of all, yes, I've been rather busy, probably wondering why I haven't made a new video or movie or game review. That's because I've been working pretty hard on the Halloween Horror Fest Marathon, which is obviously going to be pretty big this year. I have, one or two game reviews I'm working on, a couple top 5s or top 10s, and maybe a movie review here and there. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty big marathon this year, so I've been pretty busy with that. The game reviews, as you know, take a lot longer than you expect, because it's a lot of footage, a lot of stuff I have to really get through, a lot of editing here and there. So, been working on that in the meantime, but it's been coming along pretty good. Otherwise, yeah, obviously with Universal, you obviously know that it should come as no surprise to you that I'm a huge Nintendo buff. I don't own the Nintendo Switch yet. I do plan on getting one in the near future, but as you know, with Universal, I did mention back in 2015, shortly after Nintendo and Universal theme parks signed their agreement to bring Nintendo-based attractions at the Universal theme parks. And here's the latest update. As far as I know, Japan's theme park, in Osaka, Japan to be exact, they did start the groundbreaking for the Nintendo or Super Nintendo World expansion. Not to confuse with the store in Rockefeller Center, but yeah, it's going to be called Super Nintendo World. That's going to be the section of the theme parks at not only Universal in Japan, but Orlando and Hollywood. So, yeah, Japan obviously got a head start on it because obviously that's where Nintendo came from, so I guess that makes perfect sense that, they get the first one and the first groundbreaking. I don't know where Hollywood's is going to go, and I've been to Hollywood's, and I can't picture where they're going to put this expansion because it's designed differently. It's on a hill. There's like the upper lot, which is majority of the attractions, and then there's a lower lot with a few attractions, and of course the back lot and everything. So that remains beyond me. So I could be wrong, but they could put it somewhere, I'm sure. But as for Orlando, a lot more real estate to cover in that theme park, and it has been rumored, and, well, I think it's going to be confirmed because, well, most of the other attractions like King Kong and other attractions and so forth were rumored. It eventually came true, like the King Kong attraction, as I mentioned before, which just recently opened last year in Islands of Adventure, right next to Jurassic Park. Orlando's park is going to actually put Super Nintendo World right where the Kids Zone used to be. And before that, it was obviously the Bates Motel set and a bunch of other attractions that are obviously not there anymore. But yeah, it's, the Woody Woodpecker coaster, Curious George, Animal Actor stage, and Barney and so forth. Basically, that whole section, I think, is going to be leveled for this whole expansion. And I'm not really going to fret about it. I mean, I have nothing against kiddie rides. I mean, you got to have them in this park, but I'm sure this expansion is going to have plenty as well. And come on, not only kids love Nintendo, but adults like us who grew up with it during the 80s and 90s, we want to see this expansion come to life. And the most important thing which makes this expansion and all these attractions worth your while, hopefully it's not all just 3D screens, which I'm sure there's going to be one or two, 3D virtual reality rides. But as far as my knowledge goes, judging by the map, it's going to have a port entrance, but yeah, I did mention it's going to be in the Kids Zone, so not to worry, people. E.T. Adventure, as far as I know, is going to remain untouched. Spielberg is very protective of that ride because it's an original classic. I'm glad they're not going to take it out. Trust me, you have nothing to worry about there. I mean, Orlando is the only park that still has that attraction, and it's the last of the classics there, now that, the earthquake or disaster ride is gone now. So, nothing to worry about there. But as far as I know, it's going to have a port of entry right behind the Simpsons Springfield land, which used to be World Expo. And it's going to have Kirby's land, which I believe is going to be like the kiddie zone. And I love the Kirby games too, and I'd like to see a major attraction out of that section, but I guess they're going to make that the kids zone. As far as I know, they're going to have Pokemon, Pokemon Stadium. They'll probably have like tournaments with the cards and stuff. Sort of like The Wizard, that 1989 movie. And I wouldn't be surprised even if they had video game tournaments too as well. But that's not what makes a theme park worth your while. Like, if I want to play video games, I'll stay at home and play them. I mean, I go to Universal to go on attractions and do stuff that I don't normally do at home. But yeah, Pokemon, Kirby, and it's going to have Zelda's Kingdom, which I'm assuming is going to have like the land of Hyrule. That should be like Harry Potter, serve something that's like Zelda themed, build up like the whole town of Hyrule and make like carnival games, like in Ocarina of Time almost, and build up the castle to full scale. You know, make it worthwhile. And as far as I know, it's going to have Peach's castle as the entrance, which I find weird because the Mario section is going to be all the way in the back, judging by the map. And of course, it's going to have the signature Mario Kart attraction. I'm not sure how this is going to work exactly, because I don't think you're going to be able to throw Koopa shells and banana peels at one another and all that stuff, but it could make a great ride. Just make good scenery, you know, put like every race kart track, you know, from every Mario Kart game in one. Don't make it completely 3D. You gotta have real physical objects on these rides, you know. Practical effects are better. Don't just make it all 3D screens, because I don't go to theme parks just to, you know, look at 3D screens. I go to see stuff that's really there, because you can tell the difference between 3D screens and, you know, practical effects. Like the new King Kong ride. Exactly. People were disappointed. I didn't think it was a terrible ride, but as I said, a lot of people were kind of disappointed that majority of it was 3D screens. So, yeah, practical effects are key to this whole expansion. That's what makes it worth your while. And yes, there's also going to be a Donkey Kong land. As far as I know, it's going to be Donkey Kong's Minecart Madness coaster, which I think sounds awesome. You know, make it like Escape from Gringotts almost, you know. Make it actual roller coaster, but, you know, with going off the tracks, I guess you're going to have to use 3D screens or do something that works, but don't make it all 3D. FZero would be awesome too. That would make an awesome 3D ride. I've always played FZero X on N64, and I always thought, wow, this would be an awesome, like, experience. Kind of like Back to the Future or Simpsons, sort of. Because, yeah, that you really can't make a real roller coaster out of, but it could work. Play the music, like big blues music or something, you know, make it worthwhile. So, otherwise, I think this has a lot of potential, and I really hope Nintendo and Universal don't cheat out on this, and all I can say is I hope for the best out of this expansion. As I said, this is just rumored, but as far as I know, it's probably going to happen, but not for probably several years at least, but make it worth our whiles, Universal and Nintendo. I'm a huge Universal buff, and that's all I ask for. So, till next time, keep watching.